For a film called Night Killer, there sure are a lot of kills being done during the daytime. Night Killer, released in 1990 and is directed by Claudio Fragasso, who has also directed such films like Monster Dog, After Death, Beyond Darkness, and Troll 2. Oh my god! That's the best way to describe this movie. And the reason why we're talking about Night Killer today is because it was a PayPal donation and recommendation from a second-time contributor to this channel, Dr. Camp, who recently recommended the amazing horror Stephen King film Sleepwalkers, which is just, I'm looking forward to all of his recommendations going forward. If you make any more PayPal donations, Dr. Camp, I'm expecting it to be something like this, because holy crap, this movie is quite hilarious. So if any of you out there also want to be like Dr. Camp and help contribute and support this channel, you can make a PayPal donation by clicking on the donate button on the main page of my YouTube channel. Any size donation will do. And if you have a movie that you really want me to review and give you a shout on the channel for, you can attach your movie with your donation, and if I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, and publish my review of it as quickly as I possibly can. Melanie Beck is assaulted in her home by a creeper wearing a strange rubber mask and Freddy Krueger-like rubber gloves, but the attack was so vicious that she has lost all memory of the attack itself. So after being quickly released from the hospital, decides to take her own life. But anyway, she tries, and this creeper stalker guy finds her and saves her and locks her up in a hotel room to where he wants to make her his mistress. So yeah, and in the meantime, this night killer person is going from woman to woman, killing them along the way. Yeah, these people that this night killer goes to are they're so dumb. It's like one of them is like actually grinding up on the guy in the mask because she thinks it's sexy as hell. How do you know that something is not going to happen to you? In particular, he's going to fist you in the back. That's what this guy does. He takes his flimsy little claw-like hand and he will punch through you. This is one of those movies that is so bad and so confusing and leaves you just with so many questions that it is a joy and hilarious to watch. Because you sit there watching this film asking yourself, how was this film made? Some higher up was watching this movie on a day-to-day basis and said, yup, we're going to continue with production. Here's more money. Keep doing what you're doing. Apparently, though, at one point they were disappointed in the movie because they did do a couple of reshoots to add more gore and bloody stuff to the film. Like the whole opening scene where this dance choreographer, one of the worst theatrical directors I've ever seen on screen, is directing these people in their aerobics gear, and she gets killed and a dancer gets killed. Apparently that whole sequence was a reshoot. It was not done by the director. Could we talk about this scene though, please? The movie just opens and we're dancing. There's nothing. There is no title sequence. There is no music other than the crappy dance music that the dancers are actually dancing to. What they're rehearsing for, I don't know. It's a weird rendition of Les Miserables. Who frickin' knows? But the choreographer is just so flustered and so angry with what they're doing that she can't vocalize anything. She can't say any lines or words at all.
Okay, I'm gonna get her, and, all right, I'm a little nervous. You have to forgive me, please,
I don't know if she was trying to improv or if she forgot her lines, but whatever this take was, they kept it in. So she takes a break because she is a very competent theatrical director, and she walks in on the night killer and he slashes her throat, but somehow she is able to crawl and run all throughout the theater building to the balcony to where she's punched through the sternum again, and she is thrown over the edge. Why did we have this scene? What importance does this scene have to the film, you may ask? This is only like the first 10 minutes, and I'm already getting the sense of the quality of performances and the quality of acting that I'm to expect throughout this movie, and it gets worse better, because then we finally get our title sequence with really great rip-off of the Seinfeld theme, and we're introduced to Melanie Beck, who is a writer of some sorts and has a phone call with a guy from a bar. And I guess she's annoyed at first, but then it gets really annoyed here in a second.
Anyway, Clarissa has gone to the country with Annie.
Listen! I don't have anything to say to you except don't call me anymore!
Listen! I told you never to call here! But then after this whole scuffle, she looks at herself in the mirror and massages her breasts. Because, you know, that's what I do whenever I'm upset with my boss or at work. I just sit back and I go, yeah, you're a good person, Caleb. Am I gonna get flagged for that on YouTube? I think I will. But anyway, she's in her house and this night killer guy is there and he's like, I'm gonna fuck you because I'm so horny. And apparently he does, but we don't see anything. It just kind of goes to black, and all of a sudden Melanie Beck is in the hospital, and she has amnesia. She can't remember who her daughter is, because her daughter went to go stay with a friend who lives, like, just down the street. So she has no memory, and this cop and doctor guy are vowing to go find this guy. But then, right away, Melanie is released from the hospital, even though she has amnesia, and I'm sure some form of PTSD and depression. But she's driving anyway. And here enters this asshole guy driving up next to her saying, hey, honey, wanna wet your whistle? And he's drinking and it's like, hey. His name is Axel. He's the best character in this movie. You like him some fried chicken. She's trying to drive away from him and he's purposely following her because he's a frickin' creeper, and follows her into an office building to where she gets the one up on him because she has a gun, which is a great thing for someone who has amnesia, doesn't know who they are, and has a form of PTSD to have. So she corners him in the bathroom and forces him to disrobe, take off all of his clothes, and flush him down the toilet. And then she leaves. And what we get that follows has become one of my favorite lines from any movie ever. I have been saying it and reciting it to my wife for the last several days after watching this movie. I can't get enough of it, and I'm going to keep saying it and quoting it. It's probably not a good thing to say and quote because it's a fun little line here, but he exits the bathroom and he walks by the reception desk, and the guy at the reception desk is saying, look, well, what happened to your clothes? He turns around and says, I got molested in the little boy's room. When I'm watching a movie at home and something funny happens on screen, if it's a comedy movie, I will give it its due, and I will give it a little, or a little chuckle out of me. I'm not a big rolling in the aisles laughter guy at comedies. When that line was said, I couldn't stop laughing for 10 minutes. I'm trying to hold it back right now because it's just so funny. I gotta get through this review. If you don't believe me of my delivery of it, just watch the actual scene. I think it's worth it.
Hey, bud, what happened to your clothes?
I got molested in the little boy's room.
It's my favorite line ever. It's fantastic. And the best part is after the line, his little skip to my loo that he does out the door. What? If I can convince you of anything, it's please do yourself a service and go find that clip. Just find the whole thing and just watch it over and over and over again. Because you'll just be delighted. And your mood is gonna just be great right after. But anyway, after this, Axel goes out and finds Melanie, who is committing suicide and taking pills on the beach, and he takes her and forces her to drink seawater, which apparently is like almost drowning her, and is groping her from behind, because that's what you do for a friend. And then he takes her and locks her in a hotel room, because he wants to keep her for himself. And when he enters that hotel room, he has some great things to say.
Fried chicken and french fries. Surrender. A gun. Barbiturates.
Fried chicken, guns, pills, barbiturates. These actors and the movie itself, I'm getting the sense that they're taking themselves way too seriously. And I think that's where the humor of this film, for me anyway, comes through. It's when you take yourself way too seriously in delivering lines that are just flat out ridiculous. Costumes, masks, situations that are completely ridiculous. But if you're playing them 100% straight, it's hilarious to me. So during this time when she's in the hotel room, he is slapping her around because that's what you do, I guess. And what seemingly seems to happen is Axel leaves every once in a while to blow off some steam. And then we get our night killer kills that, again, only happen during the daytime. Except for allegedly the girl in the aquarium. Why the aquarium? Because, I don't know, this research assistant gets killed, again, hand through the sternum. But whenever she runs down the hall or runs through the aquarium, it's, you know, no arm movement at all. It's just... But anyway, we move forward, and Melanie Beck thankfully escapes to one of the most hilarious endings to a chase scene I've ever seen. And she goes back home where she is comforted by her friend down the street who is looking after her daughter. And spoiler alert, this friend actually ends up being the killer and gives us a bunch of exposition like this.
To think that you could get back at me. To think that you could kill me. That was crazy.
First off, I'd like to thank the Academy for recognizing the terror that I was trying to portray on screen. But thankfully, the man who got molested in the little boy's room shows up to save the day. What is the point of this movie? What is the purpose of this movie? What's the message of this movie? Who the fuck knows? It's a weird-ass frickin' experience, and it's so frickin' worth it. Thankfully, this movie was free on TubiTV.com, otherwise I would have had to pay for this thing. It's a movie that you have to pause many, many times to ask yourself, what am I watching? And do I want to continue? Does it get better from here? Answer, I guess no. I like the horror season. I like the Halloween season because I get to watch all of these horror films that are just weird in nature and really have no purpose behind them other than, hey, it's these filmmakers trying to develop their filmmaking craft. And you look at an end product like this, and you say to yourself, yeah, the craft is not there, sir. It is so bad, but it is so good, and I have to recommend it to you. It does fall under a very special category for this channel, though. I'm gonna give Night Killer 5 out of 5 mammograms.
I got the results of the test back. I definitely have breast cancer.
Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part of my videos where I randomly select which movie I'm going to be watching next. And we're coming to the end of October. Halloween is this weekend. We're going to be picking from all the horror and Halloween films that either I own or have been recommended to me. So, let's take a look. Paranormal Activity. Awesome. An actual horror movie, which seems to kind of be rare during this whole month of Halloween and horror. I'm getting a lot of horror films that are just so terrible that they're amazing. This one, though, I've heard is actually quite terrifying. I've never seen it before, and I've kind of put it off because I've heard it's so scary. That's the whole advertising behind this movie. They had all the trailers with the audiences, and they were watching them with night vision and all the jumps that they were doing. Found footage film, and they're being haunted, which is, you know, something I've seen before, but I don't know, the found footage thing, it kind of just adds an extra realistic layer to it and freaks me out. So we'll check it out next time. If any of you have recommendations of films that you want me to review on here, you can make a PayPal donation on the main page of my YouTube channel. Any size donation will do, just attach your movie recommendation with your donation, and if I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, give you a shout out on the channel, and get my review of it published as quickly as I possibly can. So guys, have you seen Night Killer? What did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time with my review of Paranormal Activity. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.